today I'm going to uncover the fossil family tree that Game.
Oh, by the way, the name of this channel is SuperCarlinBrothers's, and they do a lot of pop culture theory discussions. They are also extremely cool, and whenever this is another channel I used to just watch before I started doing React content, and they were amongst the group of content creators where I was like, you know what? If I started doing React content, I would want to react to some of their stuff because their stuff is really interesting, and I can bounce stuff off of it because they do a lot of Harry Potter theory, a lot of Pokemon theory. I forgot what other franchises they delve into, but I mean, you can see behind you. I see a Raichu. I see I think that's BB-8 from Star Wars. This guy here, the roly dude. I think that's BB-8. You got Captain America's shield with Thor's hammer, the Infinity Gauntlet. Um, is that the goddamn Sword of Gryffindor, or is that from Lord of the Rings? It's too blurry to see in the background, but so you can see they delve into a lot of pop culture. Is that a fucking Death Eater mask? Next to Baby Yoda, that's hilarious. Death Star, holy shit, what's going on? Hey, thank you for the raid. I'm doing good. I'm reacting to a Super Carlin Brothers video. They're a YouTube channel. They're two brothers, and they share the YouTube channel, and they do theory and commentary videos on all different pop culture. I was just pointing out, like, if you look in the background, you can see just some of the different areas of pop culture they tend to feature. I know them a lot from their Harry Potter content because I'm still a big Harry Potter nerd. I grew up with the series. I was around the same age as Harry when the first book came out. So, that's one of the things that's just a cornerstone of my childhood, and I love it. And they do Harry Potter theory. This is a Pokemon theory video. I see BB-8 in the background, so they probably do some Star Wars stuff because I know there's a ton of Star Wars content. Sometimes I'm just like drifting off to sleep. I'll throw on a playlist of like Star Wars what if scenarios, like what if Darth Vader went back in time to speak to his younger self and prevent him from falling to the dark side or some shit like that. And it's a cool reimagining of the story if the Force had intervened and made things different. And Darth Vader goes back and he's like, hey, chill the fuck out. I know you're young and hormonal and stupid right now, but chill out because you're going to fuck up everything if you don't. Trust me because I'm you from the future and look how fucked up I am. You see this? You want to be this? No? Then chill the fuck out. And you don't even have to do is like take off his helmet and be like, do you want to be this? No? No? Then chill out and maybe use your brain for once. Click. All right. Yeah, there's a lot of, and I like that because it shows all the different things that they're into. I think this is Pokemon in the back, but again, let me see. Can I? I don't even know what I'm. Oh, I'm on 1440p. Fuck. So I'm. Yeah, but they got Raichu, so you can tell, and they're obviously doing a Pokemon video. This is Pokemon fossils never went extinct. They evolved. Pokemon theory. So we're going to delve into are there modern representations of Gen 1 fossil Pokemon among us today?
Freak and Pokemon have been hiding in plain sight for the last 2 decades. Now, hey brother. Guys, today I'm going to uncover the fossil family tree that Game Freak and Pokemon have.
Yeah. I mean, he could even just be like, hey, if you don't chill out, you're going to look like this. You're going to kill Padme by your own hands. And your kids will survive, but you will literally only know them for a handful of days, and during that time, you'll be trying to kill them. Do you want that? No? Then chill out and start using your brain for once in your life. I know you're young and hormonal and really, really stupid right now. But trust me, Palpatine is an asshole. Don't listen to him. You see this? He literally made my suit weak to lightning to keep me in line. He's an asshole. Don't fucking trust him. He killed his own fucking... Stop being stupid. I know I was stupid, but stop being stupid. Sorry, just Anakin made so many poor decisions in the prequel series. I know that was the point, and I mean, he's a young hormonal kid who really didn't have a lot of formal or social education, so it's hard to truly blame him for a lot of what he did. But fuck, he fucked up so much with his dumb decisions. Let's get back into this.
Pokemon that we also know and love. Hey brother. Guys, today I'm going to uncover the fossil family tree that Game Freak and Pokemon have been hiding in plain sight for the last 2 decades. Now, possibly you've heard about the whole Kabutops Genesect theory before, and don't worry, we will be covering that, but it goes way deeper, and I'm about to blow the lid off of all of it. Because the secret ecosystem and lore that has been built into the games over so much time is wild and fits together perfectly. So forget about Genesect today. Today, I'm going to prove that Kabutops eventually became Scyther, Omastar became Octillery, and Aerodactyl, well, we'll get to Aerodactyl. But before that...
By the way, that is an absolutely cool shirt. Toad School. Toad School. I That's another thing I liked about what is it, Gen 9 Scarlet Violet. When I saw, I was like, yo, what the fuck is that, and why does it look like a weird tentacle? But why is it walking on its tentacles on land like some kind of weird fever dream? Like, is the acid kicking in yet? And then I read up and I was like, oh, it's like a not a regional form, but a different variant of like a regional. Because it's basically like, oh, we're gonna take tentacle, but instead of a jellyfish in the ocean, it's gonna be a little mushroom dude running around on the ground. So it's the same but different, and that was super interesting because it's like, oh shit, now I get to look at, again, you get to look at old Pokemon in a new lens. They made Diglett a water type. I mean, it's not Diglett, but it, look at it. It's fucking Diglett, okay? It's 3 heads coming out of the ground, quote unquote. It's Diglett, and it's adorable, and it's a water type. I want it. Yeah. Although, Palpatine was using his dark Sith powers to like give Anakin visions and manipulate him. But if they would have just listened to the kid a little more, maybe, I don't know. I mean, don't get me wrong. The Jedi themselves had major flaws, and they're not clean in this at all. The Jedi Order had dropped the ball, and it had not only had they dropped the ball, but the ball had rolled like all the way across the room and was now under the bed. Yeah, that's pretty much what they did. They were like, "Hey, take this one, throw it on the land. All right, it's a land one now. Just roll with it. Just roll with it. Here, take another puff. All right, now we take Diglett, right? And we turned it into a sea worm and we put it in the shore. Oh shit, dude, that's cool. All right, so let's get on with the video.
We've got a lot to cover, like how Psyduck, of all Pokemon, randomly plays a huge role in all of this.
Psyduck?
Honestly, I had a blast researching this one.
I know. This would have made another water psychic type, which a lot of people would say we don't need. But it's a felony that Psyduck and Golduck aren't water types. Like, Psy is in one of their names. They naturally learn psychic type moves. Like, you made Slowpoke and Slowbro psychic types, but not the psychic duck. That's not even just a crime. It's a felony. Like like Psyduck would have gotten so much more love if it would have been something other than just another boring mono water type. Like throwing on any other type to a Pokemon makes them more interesting. When they're just a mono type, it's just like, I mean, they not that a mono type Pokemon can't be interesting, but when you have like 5 of them, you know, they all kind of just melt into one pool of beige, especially like who's gonna run Sea King as their water type when you could run Slowbro that will know Surf and Psychic and Fire Blast, right? All of a sudden it's like holy shit. Why would I run this one type Pokemon when I can run this 2 type Pokemon that can just handle multiple threats? And then when you have a Pokemon like Psyduck that is so interesting but still just a mono water type, they made it boring. And I get that maybe they would have made too many water psychic types, but would it really have psychic type was already busted? What are you gonna make it more busted? You can't make it more busted. It was already busted. Mewtwo and Alakazam were gonna make it busted regardless if no other psychic type Pokemon existed. Mewtwo, Alakazam, and Starmie alone. And actually, and in Generation 1, Slowbro. Because Generation 1, Slowbro's Amnesia just made it an absolute unit. Because Special was one stat in Generation 1. So Amnesia would raise its special attack and special defense by 2 stages. It already had obscene physical defense. So it would just not die and just hit like a truck in Generation 1. So I can understand why, like, too many psychic types, but Kadabra was good enough to beat people with. Like, not even Alakazam, Kadabra. Kadabra is so busted in Generation 1, it's obscene. But Psyduck should have been a psychic type. I don't care. I will die on that hill.
Let's go.
Hey, excuse me? Huh? If your son could do 10 push-ups right now, I'll buy him a TV.
My son? No, I don't want a TV.
Okay, so I just got back from the Pokemon World Championships in Anaheim, California, which is an absolute blast.
That does look like fun. Like I'm nowhere near as good a Pokemon player to make it to the World Championships, but that does look like fun. I mean, I'm okay, but I prefer to play with Pokemon I like rather than Pokemon that are just objectively good. But that still looks like fun. I mean, look at that. That's like a fucking person-sized Pokemon card.
I won a tournament, made a lot of friends, bought a lot of stuff, and I'm still on such a Pokemon high that, like, today I couldn't not make a Pokemon video. So, let's kick off with my favorite Pokemon of all time and for always, Scyther. I mean, he's got literal blades.
Based. Scyther isn't my favorite Pokemon. That's Kingler. But Scyther is one of... Like, if I had to put, like, top 3 Pokemon, Kingler, Scyther, Stormy. As much as I love, like, Kabutops and the rest, there's never been a generation where Starmie isn't in it that I haven't used it in a battle team. It's just so good of a Pokemon. It has a move pool deeper than the waters it swims in.
Man, how cool is that? And like, look at his Gen 1 sprite. It's still...
That brings back memories. I mean, that is the first time I saw Scyther. I was like, what the fuck is that? I want it. And it ran in the Safari Zone. I was like, fuck, I gotta find it again. It's like, okay, it's in this area. Ding, dern, fuck. Okay. Pay 500 more. Right, go back to that area. Run around. Gotta find a Scyther. It became, the moment I saw that thing, it became my mission to catch one.
Amazing.
And of course, I eventually did.
Honestly, probably still the best Scyther sprite in any game to date. Like, how could...
In Generation 2, Generation 2 was probably the best time to get Scyther, because, like, if you timed it right, which, I mean, it wasn't that difficult to time because it happened 3 times a fucking week, you could get Scyther, like, right before, actually, the 3rd gym, because I don't think you had to beat Whitney to go to the national park. I mean, not saying that Scyther would be of much use to Whitney against Miltank. In fact, In fact, Scyther would get mauled by rollouts quad damage, but you could obtain Scyther and add it to your team early, and it is an amazingly powerful Pokemon for that early in the game. Of course, it was not that easy to get, but the bug catching contest was better than the Safari Zone because I'm pretty sure it was free. And as long as you like saved before, you could keep redoing it as long as it was still that day. So I mean, if you were dedicated enough, you could just dedicate an entire Saturday to trying to find Scyther, which I'm almost certain I did at some point during Generation 2 because I remember setting an alarm to wake up early around like 6 a.m. to find Leddyba. I was like, okay, it's early morning, gotta run, gotta find Leddyba. Where's Leddyba? I can't wait till it gets too late. Gotta find Leddyba. Oh, found it. Okay, save, go to sleep. To be young enough and have not enough responsibilities to dedicate time to like actual time to a video game like that. That's so much fun. Yeah, yeah. You didn't need to fight Whitney, so you could do it before Whitney. I mean, it wouldn't help you much. Although there was a trade. I believe it was Drowsy for Machop, and you can literally find Drowsy like right before Goldenrod in the grass, and you would get a female Machop, which would be immune to Whitney's attract and could I think it had that karate chop or low kick, and that was honestly, if you're playing through Gen 2 and you're having trouble with Whitney, just do that. Just do that. Just get the match up. You won't regret it because it'll answer so much. And Whitney's Miltank is it is a very difficult Pokemon to get through. In fact, what was it, like a week or two ago? I played Pokemon Stadium 2's Gym Leader Castle. And the Pokemon that got me stuck was Whitney's fucking Miltank. I and I used I was like, okay, I'm not gonna use water Pokemon. I'm just gonna use whatever's strong. And I was like, I can't. It's still just too fast and too strong, and I can't hit it hard enough. Low kick, which I think low kick would actually be better than karate chop because I'm pretty sure Miltank weighs a lot because it's based on a cow and cows aren't lightweight. But yeah, Miltank is a nightmare. There's another Pokemon YouTuber I watch called MNJ TV, and he absolutely hates Miltank because like he had a bad experience in childhood with it, and just like every time he plays through Gen 2, it just is like a painful time for him. Miltank is a very difficult Pokemon to get through unless you've built your strategy around breaking through it. And even then, it's just for that early in the game, it's just a very high stat Pokemon. Yeah, that is definitely a wall you're going to encounter playing through Gen 2. Actually, damn, you know what? After my green playthrough, I think I'm gonna play through shit, what is it? Polished Crystal? No, um the other Crystal. I'll play Pokemon Crystal because Gen 2 is probably my you know Gen 2's art style is hey Sinner Scholar, what's up? Gen 2's art style is like in terms of the music and the art style is just so nostalgic for me. Like I like Gen 3, don't get me wrong, Gen 3 brought a ton of improvements and Gen 4 is where Pokemon got to its peak, but Gen 2 just feels like home. Like when I play a Gen 2 game, I feel like I'm back in that time. It's the year 2000 and my mom got me Pokemon Silver on release day. I was just sitting there playing and I was like, yeah, Pokemon Silver, this is fucking dope. Yes, I got Silver before Gold. I like Lugia more. I don't know if I have a favorite Pokemon game because they're all good and like they all have different fond memories behind them. Like Pokemon Yellow is probably like it there's a big bias toward it because Pokemon Yellow came out around Christmas time. And I told my mom, we didn't have a lot growing up. Well, me and my mom didn't have a lot when I was growing up. So she told me, like, if you just want one gift, what would the one gift be? And I said, I just want Pokemon Yellow. That's the only one thing I want for Christmas. Christmas morning rolls around. I rip open every package except this one. It was like 2 feet by 2 feet by 2 feet, which to a little kid was massive. I ripped open every other present and no Pokemon Yellow. And my heart began to sink because my mom said she couldn't find it. She said, I couldn't find it. I'm sorry. It was all sold out. And I was beginning to believe her, but I knew my mom, she does that because she knows it'll make it sweeter when I do get it. And so I finally open up the big present, right? So I rip open the wrapping paper. I open this big box. I dive in, and it's a sea of styrofoam peanuts. And I fish to the very bottom of the box, and I pull out a copy of Pokemon Yellow. My mom got me. She got me good that year. Because I never would have thought it would have been in the big box. And, Pokemon Yellow was so peak because, like, I was a huge fan of the anime at that time. So when I played through Pokemon Yellow, I literally like played through as Ash. Like I named my character Ash. I didn't leave Viridian Forest without a Pidgeotto and a Butterfree. Like I did everything like Ash did, and it was a fun winter break. And that's why I love Generations 1 and 2 because they just have a lot of fond memories attached to them. Although Generation 3 has fond memories attached to them because my aunt got me Ruby for just like as a gift when I was over one summer, and it was awesome. I went to Sapphire, but the store only had Ruby, and I was like, fuck it, I want to play the new Pokemon. And so I spent the rest of break just staying up late, playing the new Pokemon, looking up secrets on the internet. So the first 3 generations are definitely my favorites, which is why those are the ones I've played the most on stream. And those were the first ones I played physically, and I'll be honest, I played a lot of Generation 4 and 5 virtually because I had an ace card in college because I was absolutely broke in college. So like while I did play, like I also had access to it wasn't PK Hex because it was like the one before that, PokeGen or PokeSav or the save game editor. So Generations 4 and 5 were just sort of like me playing Pokemon in God mode, where I was just like, oh, I can just make my Pokemon shiny? Click. Yeah. Click, 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 click. Oh, I can just give myself infinite TMs? Click, 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 click. Okay. Awesome. And that was a time, but then was it 6? Yeah, 6, with X and Y. I got back into playing physical, and I've been playing just Pokemon like that ever since, and I am absolutely looking forward to Pokemon Champions. Because they said it's coming to mobile devices, it's definitely something I'm going to be playing on stream because I just love my favorite part about Pokemon is the battling. I love just sending out a squad of 6 against another squad of 6 and seeing who's got the best moves and strategy, and it's just so much fun. It's like chess mixed with a little bit of poker mixed with a little bit of rock paper scissors. It's just so much excitement. I can't wait for Pokemon Champions. Double battles are a thing. I can build a team around double battles, but I have to know beforehand that it's going to be a double battles team because then I sort of I have a different strategy with the double battles team because since I'm using two Pokemon at once, I can I can sort of synergize a lot better. Where, for example, in generations 6 and 7, my double battle team was a Drizzle Pelipper and a Mega Swampert that had Swift Swim. Yeah, although I won't lie. I also I still actually I haven't played in a while, but I do play the Pokemon TCG Pokemon TCG Pocket, so I do sort of engage in every form of Pokemon battling that there is, at least in terms of like the ones I know of to some degree. But I would say the competitive battling in the video game is my favorite form of the battle, but all the different forms of battle are fun. Yeah, it's Pokemon TCG Pocket um is like Duel Links. It's a stripped down version. There's two. There's Pokemon TCG Pocket, which is this one. Pokemon TCG Pocket is like Duel Links. And then there's I forgot the full name of this one, but this is like Master Duel for Pokemon TCG, where it's like the full rules, the actual cards, like a simulator for the real game, minus going to your local card shop and meeting somebody who hasn't showered since Pokemon the first movie came out. Have a good one, Sinner. But I haven't tried out the other one, but I do eventually want to start because I do like card games. I just don't like going out much. And this is a perfect way to play card games without going out. So, I'm going to get into that because Pokemon TCG Pocket is actually very addictive. Um, I built a deck around of all Pokemon Kingler, of course. But let's get back into this theory vid because I've been yapping and yapping and yapping, but I think that's what VTubers is supposed to do.
Fifth grade me not fall in love with this guy, right? The series starts with Scyther and his like
5th grade. Holy fuck, we're near the same age. Yeah, because I was in like 6th grade, 5th or 6th grade, when Pokemon Red and Blue were out. Holy fuck, we're the same age. I think it's time for my motion.
probably still the best Scyther sprite in any game to date. Like, how could 5th grade me not fall in love with this guy, right? The series starts with Scyther and his iconic blade arms because, unbelievably, he is not the only Gen 1 Pokemon with this trait. There is also the fossil Pokemon, Kabutops. Coincidence? I think not.
Not.
Bernie, I appreciate it, but honestly, you're going to have to chill because otherwise you're going to be chiming in like every 10 seconds of this video, okay?
Don't Bernie me.
Now, the shared sites are already pretty incriminating, but they share a lot more in appearance as well. Both body shapes are tall and humanoid with an insect/reptilian flair. Both have the very narrow torso, and you can see where like the ridge-like armor on Kabutop's back may have eventually become Scyther's wings. Not to mention, Kabutop's carapace definitely just became Scyther's exoskeleton. But wait, there's more beyond just the physical, because let's also examine the Pokedex. The Ruby and Sapphire entry for Kabutops reads,
Kabutops swam underwater to hunt for its prey in ancient times. The Pokemon was apparently evolving from being a water dweller to living on land, as evident from the beginnings of change in its gills and legs.
It's a pretty interesting use of evolving there, because that's also what they call it in Pokemon, like, when they like power up, change forms and become bigger and stuff. But in this particular entry, this is a more real world definition of.
By the way, I love Slowbro. Slowbro is one of the few water Pokemon that can learn Flamethrower and Fire Blast. And most people don't know that. And it really psychologically throws people off when they see a fire type attack coming from a water Pokemon. It really it can unnerve them enough where they're like, Oh fuck! I didn't know it could do that. And it can give you a chance to like break their fighting spirit. Which goes to show you just how much I love this game.
Of evolution, like slowly changing over thousands of years and adapting to your new environment. But like, it's right there. Kabutops eventually became a land-dwelling creature, and there's just no better fit than Scyther. In fact, both Pokemon also have entries in the Pokedex that highlight their speed.
Scyther is blindingly fast. Its blazing speed enhances the effectiveness of its twin scythes on its forearms. This Pokemon's scythes are so effective they can slice through thick logs in one wicked stroke. Kabutops swims at speeds of roughly 29 knots, quickly closing in on its prey and slashing into them with its scythes to finish them off.
In fact, we can take it another step further with the introduction of the Gen 5 Pokemon, Genesect, who I think you'll agree shares a lot of visual similarities to both Kabutops and Scyther. I mean,
That board is fucking dope, by the way.
it has the domed head shape here of Kabutops and the gaster, is that what this part is called? This part of Scyther? I had to learn a lot of bug words for this video. Now I know more about gasters and thoraxes and abdominal segments than I ever cared to, but it's a gaster. But anyway, the Genesect Pokedex entry reads,
Over 300 million years ago, it was feared as the strongest of hunters. This ancient bug Pokemon was
Have a Dole Whip day! Oh, hello!
Ad time.
Fruity.
altered by Team Plasma.
right, so like the metal and the giant gun here are the alterations, but what's under the metal? Well, it's listed as a bug, so I'm thinking we're looking at a Pokemon halfway between Kabutops and Scyther, then coated in armor to get Genesect. Which ties in perfectly with more Scyther lore, because the modern Scyther evolves into Scizor, but only after you attach and then trade while holding a metal coat. So Scyther plus metal coat equals Scizor. Kabutops plus metal and giant laser equals Genesect. Oh, but Jay, Scyther also evolves into Cleavor. Yes, you were correct, it does, and I'm so glad you brought that up, because yes, in Legends Arceus, Scyther got a new evolved form, Cleavor, part rock and bug. But it just continues to fuel the theory, because Kabutops is
It's part rock. Oh fuck! I didn't even think about that until just this moment. Yeah.
Type. So Cleavor just proves that the rock DNA still existed in Scyther the whole time. And it gets even better. I can even tell you why Kabutops went to land in the first place to eventually become Scyther. But first, we have to talk about Kabutops' counterpart, Omastar.
Is it because Omastar went extinct and it fed on Omastar?
Because, I mean, let's face it, if Kabutops became something else, then, like, Omastar must have too, right? And at first, I thought it almost had to be Starmie, because Omastar has that, like, star-shaped face and 10 legs, and Starmie is a star with 10 points. Plus, Starmie's Pokedex is filled with references to space.
At the center of its body is a red core, which sends mysterious radio signals into the night sky. This Pokemon has a geometric body. Because of its body, the locals suspect that it is an alien creature.
And I know that might not sound relevant, but it is because of where you find the Helix fossil, which is at Mount Moon, which is also the home of Clefairy, which is also from space, like, moonstones and all that. So I thought, like, yeah, maybe there's some connective tissue there. And honestly, I think that still could be true, but the Pokedex then in Ultra Moon just names the descendant outright, and it's Octillery.
Its heavy shell is thought to be the reason this Pokemon died out. It's apparently a distant ancestor of Octillery.
Oh shit! Oh, there we go.
And boom, there it is, the smoking gun, definitive proof that these Pokemon evolved into other species over time. In fact, that bit of information also kind of helps explain the odd evolutionary pattern of Remoraid, this tiny fish, into Octillery, this octopus, because, like, obviously just the blue part of the smaller Ammonite must have left the shell and swam around unprotected, relying on speed rather than defense until it slowly changed into this fish. Plus, Omastar's signature move is Spike Cannon, and Octillery is literally just like an octopus cannon. But I bring up Omus.
I mean, yeah, artillery is based on a tank. The artillery in its name comes from artillery. And artillery is also another water Pokemon that can learn Flamethrower. Its stats and typing are not as good as Slowbro, but it is another surprise, motherfucker. I can actually breathe fire Pokemon.
As well, because one of its other entries lists out some of its prey. Shelder.
Apparently, it cracked Shelder's shell with its sharp fangs and sucked out the insides.
Gross. And yet, useful information, because if Omastar was feeding on Shelder, then I have to think Kabutops was as well, and we also know this about Kabutops' prey.
It is thought that this Pokemon came onto land because its prey adapted to life on land.
And I know what you're thinking, Jay, Shelder is not a land Pokemon, and yet, it kind of is, because what?
And I was just going to say, Slowbro is an adaptation to life on land. It clamps onto Slowbro's tail, and all of a sudden it can go around on land.
What happens when Shelder latches onto the tail of a Slowpoke? Yeah, it becomes the land-dwelling Slowbro.
And it becomes a bug type to hunt the psychic type.
So what
Oh,
happened
fuck.
is Kabutops followed the Shelder onto land.
It gets the evolutionary type advantage.
Yes, it probably wasn't great at being on land at first, but, you know, Slowbro also not very fast. Turns out, yeah, right there in the name. Slow. But of course, Kabutops adapted and eventually became Scyther. In fact, check this out. In the Sword and Shield games, there is a DLC area called the Isle of Armor, and it introduces a new regional variant of Slowpoke and Slowbro, which is already pretty cool. But do you know what's even cooler? Is that the Isle of Armor is also where Scyther becomes available for capture. Because yet again, ancient Kabutops would...
That's true. That's where I caught my Scyther in Sword. Holy fuck.
have followed the Shelder onto land, and boom, now Scyther is present in the same area.
By the way, I think it's awesome that now we have fucking
Capture. Because yet again, ancient Kabutops would have followed the Shelder onto land, and boom, now Scyther is present in the same area.
yeah, Pokemon on the outside world. I think that is a cool introduction. And while I do sometimes miss the random grass encounters, it is cool to see the Pokemon world sort of feeling more like it would in the anime.
But what about Cleaver? I also hear you asking. Are there Slowpoke present where you can catch Scyther in Legends Arceus? Well, no, but who says any hunter only eats one thing? Like, we know for sure that Scythers hunt Tarantula in the Galar region, it says it in their Pokedex, but those don't exist in other regions, so it's really more about adapting, and that's what this whole video is about, adaptability. But also, let's face it, when you're as fast as Scyther, you probably don't want to deal with like the tough shells of Slowbros and Shelders all the time. But don't you guys worry, I sleuthed out the other prey though. See, in Legends Arceus, Scyther only appears in two areas, the Coronet Highlands and the Obsidian Fieldlands. And there is only one other Pokemon that appears in both of those areas. And yes, it is a water Pokemon that can go on both land and sea that Scyther is obviously hunting. Psyduck, which, hey, if you're a Mythical Kitchen fan, you already know is apparently the tastiest Pokemon there is.
Psyduck, foie gras, foie gras, foie gras. Yeah, emulsify its fat and liver with its.
I mean, I have heard duck is pretty good. I've never had duck. That's true. That too, it does make shiny hunting a bit easier. I've never had duck. I've heard it's good, but fatty, but I probably like that. I gotta try it one day. Wait, did I ever have duck? If I have had duck, I don't remember, but I probably like it. I like birds. They're tasty. Birds are delicious.
I got the cabin for 3 days. It's gonna be sweet. What?
Birds are absolutely fucking delicious.
Have a fun weekend.
Rendered fat.
The tasty.
In fact, I actually want to try goose because Like I see so many Canadian geese around where I work that I'm like, Christmas goose. Getting Earth to try some goose.
Biggest Pokemon there is.
Psyduck, foie gras, foie gras, foie gras, foie gras. Yeah, emulsified its fat and liver with its own rendered fat.
And fun fact, like I know those are late game entries, but even back in Gen 1, you can only catch Scyther in the Safari Zone. And guess who else is there?
Psyducks.
Plus, it gets better because Psyduck evolves into Golduck, names that I feel 100% certain got mixed up on a list somewhere at some time, right? Like the gold one was definitely supposed to be the Golduck, and the one with the Psychic Gem was supposed to be the...
That tracks. That fucking tracks.
Who else is there?
That
Plus,
tracks.
it gets better because Psyduck evolves into Golduck, names that I feel 100% certain got mixed up on a list somewhere.
And Golduck does look cool as fuck. I'm not gonna lie. Golduck's design is dope. Like, whoever designed Golduck cooked hard. You know what? Is Golduck in Pokken Tournament? Because Golduck should be in Pokken Tournament.
Sometime, right? Like the gold one.
Yeah, he'll let him know who's boss. What do you call? Believe it or not, I'm not saying to do it, but I am saying in a situation where there are no other hope, there are many other birds that are edible. Some that are quite common around here.
One was definitely supposed to be the Golduck, and the one with the Psychic Gem was supposed to be the Psyduck. Right? Doesn't matter. What's important is that Golduck's Pokedex entry fastest swimmer among all Pokemon. I mean, geez, why do you think it needed to be so fast? Yeah, because it's an evolutionary arms race with Scyther/Kabutops to evade their ninja speed pursuits. That's why. Oh, and just for fun, guess who else is on the Isle of Armor? Guess. Go ahead. I'll let you. One try. Psyduck. Yeah, that's right. It's all there, you guys. It's all there. But what about Aerodactyl? Well, great question. But first, we need to give a big thank you to today's sponsor, Raycon. Because cool thing about fossil Pokemon is that you can bring them back and battle with them in the present. And this July, guess who's also back and better than ever? It is Raycon's fan favorite Everyday Earbuds Classic, now packing active noise cancellation. And you might want to go ahead and put them in because the issue with Aerodactyl, other than, like the teeth and general viciousness, is its scream. If I may, I think it sounds something like, ah! But with the active noise cancellation tech, no issue. I literally just had my own pair locked and loaded on my flight to Anaheim last weekend. Let me tell you, it was a game changer. I mean, the only thing louder than an Aerodactyl in the sky might be sitting next to one of those giant airplane engines. Or kids. Kids on planes can be
That is very true.
so loud. But not anymore. And even though it's kind of a long flight, no issue, because these things have got 8 hours of playtime on a 32-hour battery life and audio quality that rivals like big audio brands at half the price. Seriously, not kidding. I had my Raycons in and was blissfully watching Pokemon World's Championship Sunday with no distractions, just fun, all the way to Virginia. So go to buyraycon.com/SuperCarlin to get 20% off the fan favorite Everyday Earbuds Classic. Right now, Raycon is offering 20% off their Everyday Earbuds Classic by raycon.com/SuperCarlin. Sponsored by Raycon. Link in the description down below. And now let's find out what that screechy Aerodactyl actually turned into. Shall we? So, Omastar survived as Octillery, Kabutops lives on as Scyther, and that brings us to Aerodactyl, the apex predator of the skies. What happened to it? Well, it too never left us. It became the single most popular Pokemon of all time.
Reach your impossible, Lenovo Legion.
Charizard. I mean, appearance-wise,
That actually adds an extra layer of like rivalry to that scene when Ash's Charmeleon evolved. Let me show you what the new generation's capable of, old timer.
It's a match made in heaven. They both have the long horns coming out of their head, the clawed wings and the long tails, the long snout, the sharp teeth. But then let's also look at the Pokedex for Aerodactyl.
In ancient times, it ruled the skies. A widely accepted theory is that it went extinct due to a large meteor impact.
Right, and that meteor is interesting because if it was a meteor that wiped them out, then the resulting fires could be responsible for the change to fire type over time. Plus, it bothers a lot of people, myself included, that Charizard, the winged airborne fire-breathing lizard, is not a dragon type. But if he's a descendant of Aerodactyl, then it makes sense because he was never a dragon to begin with. He just dropped the rock typing for fire. But then to cap it all off, Aerodactyl and Charizard are both members of the pretty small pool of Pokemon that can Mega Evolve, which would make sense because of course if Aerodactyl could Mega Evolve, then Charizard could too. And specifically, Charizard Y, I think, looks a lot like the Mega Aerodactyl. But so there you go. We already know it's canon that Omastar turns into Octillery.
By the way, I've heard that I've heard several things about Pokemon Champions. One, that it will be free to start. Two, that Mega Evolution, Gigantamax, Z moves, and Terrestrialization will all be featured in the battle system. So let's get ready for some crazy shit. I can already see a team like Mega Swampert, Gigantamax Kingler. Let's see. Terra Poison Gastrodon. A Poison Z move Tentacruel.
Kabutops into Scyther just makes sense, from the appearance, to the metal coat, to the Genesect comparison, to the hunting grounds, to the fact that the Pokedex says Kabutops migrated to land. And if those two have modern day living counterparts, then Aerodactyl, the king of the ancient sky, must. And there is no greater candidate than Charizard, king of being the most popular frickin' Pokemon ever. See ya. Do the outro. I'm back. Hold on. My question for all of you guys is there's a new Pokemon game, Pokemon ZA, coming out, which will have new Megas. Which Pokemon do you hope gets a Mega Evolution?
Flygon! Flygon! Please give us Mega Flygon! I love Flygon so much!
Basically, I'm hoping for Kabutops and Omastar, because
that would be base. Mega Kabutops would be base as fuck.
It helps my theory. I guess we may as well throw Octillery in there as well. But then also, I would love to see Fearow, Golduck, and Parasect, of course, because
Mega Parasect.
None of them have gotten any love since Gen 1. Come on, Pokemon, you can do it! But otherwise, don't forget to leave a like on the video and subscribe if you haven't already so don't miss any future Pokemon action from us. If you want to see who Pokemon's least favorite Pokemon actually is, you can check out this video right here. But otherwise, until next time, Ben, I will see you in another life, brother. Aerodactyl, Kabutops, and Omastar. The first three fossil Pokemon.